Wife cheated of 15 years of our 35-year marriage. Got confirmation a few months ago. I posted and cheated on and was told to tell my story here. So here's my full story. My wife and I have known each other since we were 4 years old. Her father and my father played football in high school together, and my father was the best man at her father's first marriage. We played together as kids and lived only 2 blocks apart. My family had an antique business, and her family often came to the shows. Lisa would say she came to find me, and we would walk around the grounds together. In 7th grade, her parents divorced, and she moved with her mother, so I only saw her at the antique shows with her mother. We still walked around with each other. We met up in high school again, and she had a boyfriend. She still flirted with me at the antique shows when she was not with her boyfriend. So when she broke up with her boyfriend our junior year, I asked her out. We dated for 3 months. She asked me to have sex with her, and I said no, as I believed we needed to wait until we were married. One night during a date at the fair, she said she was staying at the fair, so I went home. A couple of weeks later, she let me know she hooked up with a carny and became pregnant. I told her I would help her out, but she said she would take care of it and she was not ready for a steady relationship. We obviously broke up. We kept meeting at the antique shows where she would ask me to walk around with her. She even started helping my parents as a ticket taker when my parents started running shows. My wife continued to flirt with me despite being with various boyfriends. I went off to college after graduating. When I was home one Christmas, my sophomore year, I ran into her and asked her for a ride home. I took her home and we talked. When I was home one Christmas, my sophomore year, I ran into her and she asked for a ride home. I took her home and we talked. She again flirted with me and tried to get me more physical, but I still told her no. I went home and she called me a couple of days later. I called her a couple of weeks later to ask her to help out my mom as a ticket taker, and she told me she couldn't as she just had a baby. She asked me to come up. I went to her house and saw her and the baby. She confessed that she had always loved me, but always thought I was too good for her. We talked and started dating again. After a year of dating, she broke down and told me if I really loved her, I would have sex with her. I figured we were engaged, so it was okay, and then 2 weeks later, she told me she was pregnant. At the time, one of her male friends asked my wife if the kids was his. I thought it was a bad joke, but after all that happened, I'm not sure anymore. We got married, and I adopted her daughter. I thought we had a happy relationship. Everyone said we were the perfect couple, and her girlfriend said how lucky she was to have me to take care of her. After 7 years, her father died, and we were moving to a new state for work. She contacted the same carny she slept with when we were in high school and started cheating with him. She created elaborate lies, and after we moved to the state, she moved out to live with him. We both saw divorce lawyers, and basically I was told I would lose my kids. After 4 months, he kicked her out because he did not like her lack of basic housekeeping skills or having to take care of her children. She apologized and stated she was so sorry, so we got back together. She was again pregnant with his child. We kept this information from everyone. We moved again, and after 5 years, one of her friends started cheating on her husband and introduced my wife to online hookup sites. My wife denied going on these sites, but when I found her email that she was using and looked it up, she admitted that she was on the site, but she denied having any affairs. She was just there to chat about S&M, as I was not into that. We moved again, and I suspected she was cheating several times. One time, when we were moving again, she stated that she was stressed and needed to go stay with a friend. I told her not to leave and that I needed her help with prepping for the move as we had to be out the next day. She kissed me, told me she loved me, and then left. I found out 3 months ago that she left to go sleep with another man. I did everything, and we were able to move again. I found another hidden email account of hers, and when confronted, she admitted to being on the site but denied cheating. I told her to open it up and let me read it then, to confirm she was just talking. She said no, so I packed my stuff and walked out the door. Our youngest daughter came running and begged me not to leave, so I went back in the house. My wife and I went to counseling a couple of times. 3 months ago, we had a fight. She admitted to being on online sites for 8 years. I made a comment asking how many men she slept with. If it was once a year, it was 8. If it was once a month, it was 96. If it was once a week, it was 416 men. She responded without thinking that it was just 2, not counting the carny I knew about, so it was not that bad. This was when I found out that she left me to sleep with the guy when I needed her help to move. She said she had not cheated on me in 13 years, so I needed to get over it. So I know that 2 of our 4 children are definitely not mine biologically, and possibly a 3rd is not mine biologically. My wife cheated on me over a 15-year period with 3 men, and they were long-term relationships that ended due to us moving. She claims to not have cheated in over 13 years. I stayed before because of the kids. I didn't want them growing up in a slum or nothing being taken care of. I did all the cleaning, cooking, tucked the kids into bed when they were little, and generally took care of them. I still help them out financially even though they are adults. They are now all out of school, so it's just my wife and I, though our youngest son, the one she had while cheating with her carny lover, and his wife and kids moved in with us due to losing his apartment and job. I am gutted that she could do this to me when I was the perfect husband. She even said I was perfect. And when I ask why, all she ever says is, "I don't know." I suspected all this time and stayed, but now that I know, I want to walk away. She is the only woman I ever slept with, and I worked hard to have the fairy tale life that everyone who sees us thinks we have. However, it is all a facade. I feel I wasted all my love and devotion to a woman who would just easily find another guy and never have another thought about me. Subscribe for more Reddit stories.